people that every single Friday we actually be coming in with Agafiire week, or bring you the updates or the news roundup of what has actually happened in the week. Briefly, maybe before I proceed, just allow me one more time. We'll come you back from the week, and actually as we usher to this beautiful weekend, we've actually brought you what has happened in the week, and I implore you just to stay tuned on to your YouTube app so that you can simply receive us. Get onto your YouTube, type the word Elkem TV, subscribe, and actually follow our shows all the time. We keep updating you onto various things. And the other thing is onto other site, as usual, I'm not alone. I've actually come along with some other panelists in the house, whereby onto my extreme right is Andama Moses, and also journalist in place, and my next right is Kangao Yeseri, also journalist, and actually is already in the house with us. We're going to be talking about a couple of things, so I implore you just to stay tuned. Once again, allow me to welcome back the candidates. Actually, it's congratulations, and it's actually so beautiful, and I appreciate you guys for having made it. Seeing Masindi, actually we made it. You are not one of the bad performing districts. Actually, of a pleasure, and thanks very much for actually having that good performance. Meanwhile, before maybe I get into the gist of the show, just allow me give an opportunity to my guest, that's Andama Moses, to have a word for the viewers, and then we proceed with the show. Andama, you're most welcome to the show, and may you have a word for the viewers of Elkem TV.
Thank you very much, the host. Thank you for actually hosting me today for this program, Agafiire Wiki. I want to welcome whoever is there and has been waiting for this program, that you just need to stay tuned as you enjoy what may transpire out of this program. As he has introduced me earlier on, West Nile's ambassador under Moses the Great, sports messiah. So also I have my colleague who will briefly introduce himself.
That is very beautiful, and actually he has gotten a couple of titles, and that's the man, and aspiring a member of parliament, that's Kiriandongo district. Thanks for being on the show. And Honorable Kangao, you're also most welcome to the set of Elkem TV. Briefly, the show is Agafiire Wiki. We welcome you being your first time. Thanks for coming onto Elkem TV, and thanks for being on the show. May you have your first, or your intro, or have your first words for the viewers of Elkem TV before I proceed with the show.
Again, Kangao Yeseri, those are my names, and it's a big pleasure to join you on this program, and for everyone out there listening who has been waiting for us, this is the moment for us to really enjoy indulging into the happenings that have been on the micro scene, but also on the macro scene. So we just implore you, please stay tuned. Don't miss even a single news.
That is so beautiful, and once again, Kangao, you're most welcome to the set of Elkem TV. Once again, I can't actually forget to remind you, viewers of Elkem TV, that this show is actually sponsored by Medina Primary School, St. Lawrence Primary School, Beckham Enterprises, Urban Chef Saloon, and many others that actually finance this particular show. We actually appreciate you, Medina, and our colleagues of St. Lawrence. Congratulations for actually having made it into the primary leaving examinations. Actually, before we proceed with this very segment, I implore you just allow me move into a short break, and when we return, we shall actually begin to the very guest why we are here today. Thanks for being on the show, and I implore you to be there tuned. Okay, once again, a very good evening, and you're welcome back from that short commercial break. My name is Urban Brown to the site of Agafiire week. It's been long since we last met, and it's a pleasure of being right here into this particular show. All I employ just tuned onto your site so that we can simply move together. Again, know what is happening in Masindi and Uganda at large and the world as a whole. Meanwhile, today we start off in Masindi district. This very week we have actually had a couple of things that have actually happened in place, and being one of the issues this very week, we actually saw Masindi police station, or the leader of police in Masindi, actually writing a letter to other roadside operators. I mean, those people that are operating near the Masindi police barracks station, and they wrote them a letter of eviction of these people have to vacate this place. They actually had the number of allegations that the police were raising, saying that these people, there are many things are actually spoiling. They even do some encroachments. You find them using the police latrines, but which is actually not good. So they had a lot of accusations saying that these people and should vacate this place, whereby even the people that have been working from here say no, it's not right for police to evict us from here, because we've been operating from this place actually for a number of years, over 20 years. So it's actually so sad for these people to evict us. And they're saying that besides what, we actually give a number of things. We actually also do some service for these policemen, like the border guys, or like also simplify transport for these police officers. So that was actually one of things that happened in Masindi that put the Masindi district on tension. And away from there, this very week, we also saw a surprising, so people actually that they woke up in a shock after one of the sex workers along Masindi, it's called Muvule, surprisingly was found dead, and they didn't know what actually killed him, because neighbors were saying that they saw him on Saturday and she was fine. It was so unfortunate on Sunday morning to find that she was dead, and may her soul rest in peace. She was by the names of Birungi Sarah, and she passed on in such a way, and that is it for her. And still in Masindi district, on the side of education, we all aware that yesterday His Excellency, the Minister of Education, that's Right Honorable Kataha Museveni, the First Lady, Kataha Janet Museveni, the First Lady, released the results, the P7 candidate results of 2023. The results were out, and before we get there, we know there was also a news story that actually had that put Masindi district on tension onto the education sector, whereby there is a school called Nyakatogo along Masindi Kigomba Road. They also had some issues whereby one of the P5 classroom was at the roof of the strong rains, but unfortunately the headmaster of the school is worried in that he's saying that the pupils are almost coming back from the long holiday, but the classroom is not yet actually roofed up to now. They were given iron sheets, but actually also stopped them from using these iron sheets onto the very classroom that was roofed. Meanwhile, when we talked to the DO, he was like, currently it may take long for actually the district to work on these classrooms. Only that currently, as a district, they don't have it in budget for this classroom. So it's so unfortunate, and actually we have nothing to do. But I implore for the stakeholders in education system to come and intervene into this particular issue, so that we can see there is at least an improvement onto that very side. And into actually last week, it's unfortunate that we lost one of our member of parliament. That's a woman member of parliament of Dokolo district. That's Right Honorable Cecilia Ogwal Atim Barbara, that passed on. That was on 18th of this very month of January in the Indian hospitals after she succumbed from cancer. So may her soul rest in eternal peace. She has been somebody that has been so instrumental, basing on the information that has been actually given out, and people have actually talked a lot of things about Cecilia Ogwal. She actually, Cecilia Ogwal is being an instrumental lady. She actually one time won the Miss Uganda contest. That was in the year 1996. By that time, she was at the age of 23. So she has actually lost somebody so important in our country, Uganda. You know, away from there, as I've told you, that there are a lot of things that people have actually talked about with that lady, and we shall be getting back into the real gist of that particular thing. And still moving on in Namisindwa district this very week, we actually saw one of the youths dying of you know, there is a tycoon in Namisindwa district that actually staged an alcohol competition, staking 10,000 for somebody that can take 10 bottles of Kenyan blended alcohol. Unfortunately, the 3 people that were engaged into the competition, 2 were taken to the hospital in a critical condition, but unfortunately, 1 lost his life. And in the names of Wamoka Kusaya of age 26, the man actually died in such a very, very, very bad way in the village of Bushindu and the parish of Bunambale and a sub-county of Teshukululu, that is the Namisindwa district. That's what happened that side. And away from there, we now get back into the education system. As I talked about briefly in my introduction, that yesterday, Right Honorable Minister, that's Janet Kataha Museveni, the First Lady, actually introduced or actually released the 2023 primary living examination candidates results. And onto the population, we've seen that onto the analysis, they're telling us that over 7,490 is over 749,254 candidates from 15,859 schools participated in these examinations. Only that to find that into these very results that were released, we actually found out that over 501,622,000 were universal primary education, or these are schools governed by the government. And away from there, we also looked at 247,652 being non-government candidates or school candidates that actually participated into the same examinations. And onto the gender basis, we're seeing that 52.25% were girls and 47.75 were boys or male persons. And 2,655 learners with special needs, and 1,261 were female and 1,391 were male. This, when we talk about the people with special needs, these are the people that need special needs like sign language, transcribers, and physical support, a number of things. And actually those are some of the people actually engaged into these examinations. And we also look at the best performed actually subject in this year of 2022 and 2023 comparison. We see that English and integrated science and mathematics were some of the most performed, actually improved the subject based on if you're to compare with the previous years. And however, the social studies and religious education were poorly performed, or they were comparably performed the same as the previous years. And it's so unfortunate that onto the release we were also given one of the most one of the most bad performing district into our country, Uganda. And we came to know that over 10.4% out of the 490,254 candidates who actually passed in Division U. That's an estimation of 88,290 269 actually passed in Division U, particularly into districts like Kibuku, Midi Okolo, Dokolo, Kweni, and Namisindwa. Those are actually one of most of the districts that actually performed so poorly. And to our days set, actually we are going to actually look onto what those topics that I've actually talked about, and briefly. We now getting to the gist of this particular show. And Mr. Andama, yes, one more time, thanks for being on to the set of Elkem TV. There are actually a number of things that have happened in our country, Uganda, and actually how you've had some of them. And I want us to begin into the local scene. That's our local place. That's in Masindi district. A number of things have happened this very week, and actually onto the news, we have seen that as the police of Masindi district actually writing a letter to the roadside operators of Masindi, the people that are operating nearby the barracks, to vacate this place. You as a journalist or somebody that is representing the masses, what is your opinion? What do you see? Is it actually good for these people to be evicted from this place? Because they're saying we have operated from this place for over 20 years. Will their eviction be productive to the economy of Masindi, or that is how it will actually drive us backward?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Police cannot just come out to actually, let's call it like dictate on something without a reason. We have seen barracks, in most cases, they're out of the boundary of civilians, unless if you go there for a purpose. So when it comes into the issue, or maybe business-wide, yes, we know people have been staging within the barracks and have been doing different kind of businesses. Others are borders, others are selling their merchandises, different kind of merchandises, like that. But of course, whenever you are in a certain place, there are always guidelines, and you have to abide by those laws and guidelines. Maybe when it comes on the side of a police, yes, we have seen in most cases, especially borders, and the police, there is a health center too, right? The police barracks. And there are some people who are admitted, they are patients. You know, those people, at times they need cool areas which is out of the bound of noise. You may find psychologically it is not allowed. Sometimes you hear the sound, people are shouting, they are what, yes. In that side, I think they are right. And then secondly, if they talk of encroaching into their area, yes, we seen this barracks is just open, implying anybody can just enter in and does whatever you want. Security-wise, it is not safe. So for all those years, those people have been staying there fine. But we have seen in some areas where some people have even existed before the institution or whatever kind of something. A police comes out and say, yes, because of this and this and this reason, we don't want you here. And then maybe they need to find out the exact reason. If it is over the issue of insecurity, maybe they have to come with the guidelines. You know what? With effect from today like this, people who are going to stage here should register, or they should be in position to respond, to comply to this and this and this. I think they have to revise their decision and agree with the municipal authorities. The municipal authorities will come and advise those people so that they should implement other things. Otherwise, if they fail, that's when maybe they will come in and do whatever they want. But to my side, if they talk of insecurity, yes, this barracks is open. And you know, and those people, they have public toilets here. Municipality has a public toilet. Why should they go and use the toilet of police and that is out of their boundary? They have public toilets, they should go in public toilets, and they are not supposed to encroach and enter there without a reason. Unless otherwise you have gone there to report a case, or you have gone as a patient, or you have gone to attend to a patient where there is a health center too here. So to me, I think they should first revise. They have to write to municipal authority. They should sit on round table. Yes, business. It is killing people. People have their, you know, there are some localities here in town. They may find that the place specifically for them, business booms and they get their money. Then you test them, where are you going to allocate them? It is hard. So they just need to sit on round table and see what.
Because basically, having heard from one of the representatives, I say a town agent representing that represented the municipality, say that for them, like municipal council, they're more ready in case these people come along to shift them from this place, they take them to another place. But these people are insisting that since they've been there for a long span, they should also be given an expanded time for them to sort out their selves to evacuate this place.
But over issues of allocating, we have seen they have shifted their time the charcoal burners from here, the same place, they have pushed them inside there. But with the issue of charcoal, I think it is okay. But now border borders, where are they going to allocate them? We have seen a number of border borders here, and most of them have their stages. Now, are they going to allocate them? Maybe you go to Kisarawil, and those people see strategic place. This is the right place.
It is very true, because if you look at borders, for them, they work on no man land.
Yes.
No, they just come alongside the road and then put their stage there.
Yes.
So it's very hard for you to sift them. Will you take them inside the market, or it's actually somehow so challenging for the borders? But for the rest, I think it's okay when the stakeholders intervene, and that will be sorted. So Mr. Kangao, once again, welcome to the set of Elkem TV. And briefly, we've been looking at the letter that was written by the police, the DPC, that's the district police commander, to the people that are operating near the barracks, by the roadside near the barracks, that should evacuate this place, based on a number of reasons. So as a journalist or somebody that is presenting the masses, what is your opinion? Is it right? Should these people be evicted from this place where they've been working for a long time or a span of time? Or maybe they should be left or given a chance of staying there like they've been operating?
Firstly, I think the biggest problem that I need to give more attention, that has been disturbing me since I heard of that letter, was the fact that sometimes the authorities like being reactive and not being proactive.
That is true.
Being reactive means you first wait the problem to happen and then you quickly wake up.
Intervene,
What shall I do? You start running up and down. Being proactive means you have to foresee and then prepare accordingly, so to avoid inconveniences. Now, my first question is, why wait for 20 years before you start chasing someone? Why?
Maybe they are looking at the development of the municipality, in that previously there was not too much development or expectations, but since they have started getting expectations, maybe and these people are encroaching onto, they are utilizing their latrines, that is how it's suppressing them. And being a barracks, I think this is the reason why these people are coming out and saying, no, please, you should stop.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's being reactive. Where was the vision? Didn't they know that this place would develop over time? They should have seen this. That's why we have planners for the town. They can foresee that it's okay. 20, 50 years from now, such and a place will be looking like this. We shall not need such buildings looking like this. That's why even when you're going to construct a house, you must go for a plan.
Because strategically, if you see the police barracks is in town, and it's just neighboring a market. So it's actually, it's so complicated to evict these people. Mr. Andama, it's like you have something you want to say.
Okay. Maybe over the issue of police barracks, I want to relate that issue with the prisons. Maybe those people are doing contrary or the reverse of what the municipal authorities had. We have even seen for several times municipal authorities have been complaining over prison being within town. They have written letter for several times they want prison to be shifted away from here, including these police barracks. Reason being, those people who did the planning of municipality did it badly. Which district have we ever seen that accommodates such institutions within?
The police
prison
barracks,
is inside, within the town. Police is inside. So these places are supposed to be done. They are supposed to be put. There are some industries that are supposed to open developmental things, but not for prison. So now we are seeing those people again. They are doing they are now chasing people. Now who
doing
over this issue
to what they would have done?
Yes, because municipal authority want prison and police barracks out.
Including even the army barracks, also in town.
Yes.
Okay, so that is very good. Thanks for that submission. So Kangao, briefly, you're still proceeding. What is your take still?
Yeah, so Andama has just stolen my point. So instead of shifting these business people who are bringing in a lot of tax to pay the very police, they should instead shift to the police barracks. They should instead shift to the army barracks, as you mentioned, and including the prison quarters, the prison area. All that land must not be in town. Now, this might not sound serious, but give Masindi, say, 20 more years from now, 50, 30 more years from now. Haven't we even discovered oil?
It is true.
You wait for the development that will come soon. Now you realize that this was a very bad move to bring the police barracks close to town and to bring even the prison quarters and even the prison itself in town, even the army barracks. Sooner or later, they will have to deal with it. So there was simply poor planning.
It is very true.
They were not proactive,
strategically
they
planned.
were reactive instead.
That is very true. And do you still have something to add on that, or maybe we proceed?
Yeah, the other thing I was also wondering, still, okay, even if there was poor planning that they put these things right in the middle of town, still I would wonder, why should they chase them from there?
Yes, since the
like for example, like one of the other reasons they were giving is that they enter and then they start even sharing the toilets with the police staff.
And I think this is just like in case the barracks was not near the market, it wouldn't happen that way. But since it is in town, these are the easy latrines that these people can access. I think this is the reason why it's happening that way.
It is natural.
It's a very good opinion for these people. Actually, what they would have done, it is shifting them from town to other areas that are actually redundant, because we've got redundant places, we've got a redundant land. I think these people can simply shift. And that's the best thing they can do.
And even the other point is, remember, the police to exist, there must be taxes, a good flow of taxes from the people. Now, if you start chasing the persons who are looking for money to pay the taxes so that police can continue functional, then what is that you're doing? What's wrong for me as Kangao? What's wrong with the border leaving his stage, going to help himself in a police latrine? What has he tempered with? Does that temper with any security? Perhaps when Andama mentioned about hospital, that's when I started to see some sense. But still, let us find somewhere to harmonize. Or else, if we are to displace, I strongly insist, it is police barracks to move.
It is very true. And once again, allow me to appreciate you, the person that is viewing Elkem TV. Thanks for actually being a nice viewer. We are actually trying to look at opinions, trying to navigate, move around, see what could be done, and actually to see that to actually improve our country, Uganda. I've been looking at that, but I implore the stakeholders to actually intervene and see how they can actually improve that issue that is actually putting Masindi on tension. And away from there, briefly, I want us to look at, there is a school called Nyakana Primary School. It's along Masindi, Kigumba Road. Briefly, I want us to talk about it. Currently, they have a crisis whereby the structure, P5 class, was deroofed. And the headmaster is worried, saying that these people have been for a long holiday. He was expectant that these people would at least stand up or intervene and actually reconstruct the classes before these people come back. But it's unfortunate, we are reaching the time that these people are coming back to school when the classes are not yet roofed. The headmaster is saying that these people are given iron sheets, but still they are not funding to do what? To actually renovate or reconstruct the structure. So when the DO is also saying that this thing was not put in plan, so it may take a span of time for a government to intervene and work on the classrooms. So actually there is how it is disturbing the master and the pupils coming back to school. So briefly, like journalists, what do you actually observe and coming up next in such a situation?
Thank you. Nyakana Primary School is just 11 miles away from here as you are approaching Kisindizi. So that school actually, there has been issue over there for several times. And the issue of the iron seat being blown off by wind. I attended the council, district council, when the issue was brought. It is not only Nyakatogo that needed such help. There's also Kasenene Primary. With the Kasenene, actually the councillors were pushing rope. The one for Kasenene Primary was like they wanted the first to work on theirs. Nyakatogo, councillor from that side also was pushing for Nyakatogo. So the councillors, they did not resolve on that issue. But they were like, for Nyakatogo is completely blown off. And then with the Kasenene, at least those iron seats are all they are leaking. Then maybe they have to handle it. But it is now a while. Pupils are coming back to school. I think Ministry of Education always allocate funds. It is only a P5 block room, right? That has been blown off. And where do we expect, because now we are coming to rainy season and rain has started. Experts have predicted even we may receive rain earlier. And on 5th, they are coming back, which is just next week. So it is really a very big blow to the head teacher. But I think the district education officer has really a role to play in that. And they should ensure that at least if there is lack of fund, we have seen funds being diverted for emergencies. District has money. They should divert fund that they think it's first priority. People are coming. They should first work on that. Maybe other sectors where they're allocated fund for should first be on hold. Then if that one is worked on, fine, they will come and handle other issues. But they should first take it as a first priority. Because really, I don't think that one taking a lot of money. Right now, there are city schools that are going on. St. Paul's, Kidunzubwa. Education has money, and the education sector,
it is true,
they do allocate money. So DO just has to work on that. And they allocate money. Here at the district, they should call, and that council has to approve it. They should get money for emergency and work on it.
That's so good. Actually, thank you very much, Mr. Andama, for the submission. Kangao, we have actually we have this problem over the roofed classroom in Nyakatogo. What is your say? What could be the results? Because we nearly the pupils are almost coming back to school. So, what is your say? Won't it affect the education system of the school, or what is your take?
What is called professional procedure is a very good thing. But also sometimes it is a bad thing. Because I tell you, when, for example, as Andama has highlighted, when the government sends money, that money is always specific. Once they send it, for example, to dig a toilet, a latrine for a school, I'm telling you, if a roof like that gets blown, try to divert it anyhow and see. You will go in jail. So procedure sometimes is a very useless thing to me. That is why even in some cases you end up seeing government, some local governments like districts, at the end of the financial year, some money is still there.
Yes.
But then they end up sending it back to the consolidated fund. Why? The reason is on procedure. It is because sometimes the procedure must be followed, and yet it is so slow, it takes time. Permanent secretary has to put a signature.
There is also a contradiction between, there is too much politics. Politics and people that have to actually work on these things. You find now people are fighting these systems that have to implement.
Yeah, but for me, putting aside the procedure problem, this is my idea. I have a feeling that the district has a lot of stakeholders that can come into play. For example, at the moment, each school has got a PTA. Okay? Why not engage them and come up with the practical ideas? We have CBOs in Masindi here. For example, maybe we have even NGOs like Red Cross. What if we talk to the PTA? We involve, for example, Red Cross at the moment, because the worst thing is school is going to start on 5th.
It is true. It is true.
What if we get tents for that, so that the candidates can, the students can be learning as the procedure is taking its long time to mature. How about that? What if we just start off with the tents, and then I don't remember seeing any nice trees on that school, but if they had very comfortable, perhaps big trees, for now they would chill inside. The only problem with it again, the rain season is knocking. So that is going to be a very big problem. So for now, I think tents is the only.
It is very true, and once again I appreciate you, Kangao. Thanks for the nice submission. And we actually been looking at to the local content, and currently we want to move into the international scene. Onto this very month, we've seen we have actually lost one of the instrumental people, one of our MOPs representing Dokolo district. She used actually to work as a female woman, a member of parliament of Dokolo, and she died at the age of 77 in India after she succumbed of cancer, and she died on 18th, and her body was brought back, and it was taken to parliament for mourning. But strategically, you see that there are a number of things that were talked about this lady having won the 1996 crown of the Miss Uganda. So she has actually been somebody so instrumental into our government. So like a journalist, what you see, it's a very big loss for our country. So how is this her days going to affect our economy? Because she has been somebody that has been advising here and here. So won't it actually affect, or maybe we can simply get somebody to replace this very MP?
Thank you very much, actually. Cecilia Ogwal, most people have said she has just gone to rest. Because when you have now reached that stage of age, honestly, that is just a call of nature. But may her soul rest in peace. She has done what she could, and people are appreciating her. Because now, when somebody has died, whatever wrong he or she did, you don't now have to come out and talk about it. But you need to talk of the positive part. She won Miss Uganda. That was actually pride for Uganda. And normally, when such a people do such a things of national importance, I think they are recognized, and you see your flag being raised high, and it is actually proud and a pleasure for us as a nation. That's being patriotic, loving your country, so and being committed to your country by doing such a things. So she was a politician, and she has nurtured very many people. She has done and supported very many people via educating, and also some have changed from the situation where they were financially. That is in supporting some people. So we cannot talk much about that, but people have talked good about her, and also present. For us, we are not there during the years, but we have been hearing of her. And indeed, we have lost such a great people here in Uganda. Last time we also lost that's the Honorable Jacob Olanya.
Yes.
He died. We have seen really we have been losing such a good people. But I think somehow it also affects the country, because those are people of high integrity. They advise, they do what, but to us as the young generation, I think we could have learned, we could learn some good thing from them, but it's unfortunate that we have missed their services. We just have to wish for them that God should keep them rest in eternal peace.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Andama, for that submission. Kangao, currently we're looking at a loss of our Member of Parliament, Cecilia Ogwal Timbabra, that has been representing the women of Dokolo in the Parliament. There is a lot of sorrow, there is a lot of mourning that is actually going on, and she'll be buried tomorrow. Cecilia Ogwal, actually, she's somebody that has longed in Parliament right from the years of 2006. She has been in Parliament. So she has been a skilled lady. Currently, if you look at those pioneers or people that have longed in Parliament, these are the people that we call advisors. When a situation comes about, they intervene and advise, say that the country moves mostly out of experience. You know, what is your take? Like a country, haven't we actually lost a very big person? What is your observation as a journalist?
Well, it has been a while since northern Uganda, the northern part of Uganda, has lost a direct touch on the national cake. We've had some very good presidents from the northern Uganda, but since they left, we were now left to identify a few northern icons. He just mentioned an example of the late Jacob Oulanyah, the Speaker of Parliament, very outspoken guy. But for this particular one, I think we have lost a national icon, a northern icon. That honorable woman, she has been a very outspoken woman when it comes to issues.
Patriotic.
When she always has been talking about issues affecting this country, she has been speaking from here, from her heart.
True.
And you could see the boldness all over her face, and you could see the love of her country on every issue she was handling. And for me personally, I feel she's simply irreplaceable. Given all the big education she had, you know, she was very skilled in human resource management. She was a very highly educated woman in business.
Absolutely.
Look at all her expertise, her experience, her pedigree in the legislature. She has been in parliament for so many years.
It is true.
So really, we can speak volumes and volumes about her, and yet we cannot even exhaust the true definition of what we have lost.
It is true. Okay, thanks very much, Okangao Yesel, for your submission. Actually, today we are looking, tomorrow it's when Honorable Cecilia Ogwa will be buried. And as a country, we have lost a patriotic person, or like my colleague said, a patriotic icon, that is Cecilia Ogwa, and may her soul rest in eternal peace. And maybe just briefly, I want us to go in a short break of silence to mourn her, and then when we come back we shall proceed. Short break of moment. Thank you very much. Once again, we'll be back from that short commercial break or moment of actually mourning one that is Cecilia Barbara Ogwa, a representative over the Dokolo district. Once again, as we're proceeding, actually that is one of the most touching things that have actually got into the previous week. And today, previously and yesterday, we saw that the Minister of Education, that's Janet Kataham Seven, the First Lady, actually released the 2023 results of primary leaving examinations, and seeing that much as the performance was good, but the boys somehow poorly performed compared to how the girls performed. And I want us to see that the number of districts that have actually performed very poorly, because if you see 88,269 passing in Division U is actually a very big number and so touching. You see, this one happened in the districts of Kibuku, Madiokolo, we have Dokolo, Kwani, and Namisindwa. Strategically, as journalists, what could be the reasons or what could be the problems with districts for poorly performing like this?
Thank you very much. Actually, Ministry of Education, yeah, those people have their curriculum and the syllabus all the time. But we have been seeing education department having issues up every year. Teachers complaining of salary increment. When it actually comes to issues of strikes, I think teachers and doctors, those are the two sectors or departments that are always so influential when it comes over issue of salaries. Amidst that, government has been pledging to fulfill that they will increase for them salaries. They talked of health, sciences, and also arts teachers have been complaining. Why not treat them equally? But we are seeing 88,000. That one is really very alarming. And we
actually, if you see other subjects that were poorly performed, these are art subjects, or what we can call art, yes. So actually, I think this is where the problem is. It could be a problem over the pledges that they didn't fulfill, that is actually affecting the education system today.
They consider science teachers more than arts, and yet they teach the same thing, they pass the same knowledge to the learners. So that one might be or may not be, but we are not sure. But when you talk of districts that have performed poorly, yes, there are certain districts, like districts which are in a municipality. You cannot actually, they are municipal districts, there are those districts which are in the city. For them, they always set their level or standard, that every year we need to be the ones leading. Now district like Wakiso. Wakiso, you cannot compare it to other districts.
It is very true.
First of all, the recruitment of teachers who are in Wakiso district, you cannot compare them with the teachers who are here in Masindi or in other districts like Dokolo, Madiokolo. And also geography can affect some of those. Now, like in Apats, when it comes to rain season,
it is too much.
Roads are impassable. A teacher cannot even go and teach. Now, if such a floods happen like for a month or 2 months, roads are impassable. How do you expect learner to access education? How do you expect a teacher to access a school to go and impact knowledge to the learners? Sometimes when you try to consider such a thing, that is one of the cause for poor performance in some of those other districts. Madiokolo. When you go to Madiokolo, you just look at the structures, the geography. You say when even they deploy me or post me there, if I'm a teacher, I cannot go. Because really there are certain things you can see that government need to improve, to intervene. And also, last time Parliament called some of those education department to come and explain why they have taken long to scrap off some syllabus, the curricula, especially the A level. It has taken long. So those people have been, education sector has been confused. I think that will be one of the reasons that has led to poor performance in some other districts. So education, they need to revise themselves from grassroots. And then they have to go to schools, maybe dictate and say, this is what we want. You cannot demand for result when the main engine where it originates is not performing well.
That is true.
Actually, education department from the ministry is not working at the standard that is needed. So they have to revise, otherwise poor performance will continue.
It is a very true, Kanga. Once again, allow me to appreciate the viewers of Elkem TV. Thanks for being into the set and thanks for loving the show. We're actually trying to look into actually getting to deep gist of the news that have happened into the week. Kanga, my honorable Andama Moses actually have gotten a very clear submission trying to say that there are a number of things that have actually led to the poor performance in these districts. You find that their geography, the location, the structuring, everything in these districts are not actually so attractive. And you also look at the pledges that are actually government pledged to in the future time to also increase the salary of the head teachers that they didn't actually fulfill, being also another reason that is suppressing or actually driving the education system backward. So as a journalist, having looked at this, what is your opinion as Kangao, you said a representative of the masses? What is your take about this?
In one word, I would say transition. Transition has contributed to that low performance.
Transition from?
Transition. I'm going to explain. 2 examples. One, we've had the first transition from COVID-19 era to these safe years. Now, you remember when you look at when we came out from COVID-19, what the government actually did in 2022, they lowered the grading.
And I heard that
they lowered the grading to accommodate the space where we were shut indoors. So the grading actually went down, so that year there was a virtual good performance. But it was because the ministry had what?
Lowered.
It had made it easy for the candidates to progress. Because one of the reasons why they had to do that was because during COVID-19, the teaching suffered. You remember how they were teaching on radios? And how many students really were understanding on radios? The government, I heard at some point, promised to give television sets to each, even radios to each family.
Which they could not afford.
Masindi, I don't know if the radios, did they reach in your home? Did they reach? So because of that, the government felt, okay, if we maintain the current standard, there is going to be a very, very, very poor performance. So they ended up lowering. Now from 2022, now we were there was a transition now from 2022 now trying try to go back
to the next standard. Yes.
Now because there was that lowering of the grading, now I think even the schools took it for granted. They thought last time we passed, even perhaps we shall automatically
ended up affecting them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that is the first transition. The second transition I would imagine of was the transition of change of curriculum. Do you know he has touched it? The government has introduced a new curriculum. So there was an old curriculum where it was more of pumping notes, pumping, and then exams pumping as long as they could ask you a question and then you're able to write the correct answer, whether you've understood it or not. All of you, Garcia Yote,
yes,
go to the next class.
Yes.
Now, there is has been a deliberate transition from that type of teaching now to this type of teaching where there is assessment. They want now to look at you. Okay, Kangao, you are the student, yes. They teach you in class, but then they also want to assess you to see
the implementation of what you've learned.
Is the education achieving its target goal in you? Because you see, the old one was like this. If you sat and then they brought a test and then you got 99%, they would just assume you're okay.
You're okay.
You go. But did you know many students of that nature after school with AAA, with aggregates 4, they leave school and I'm telling you they can't do anything in life.
It is true.
You find him on the street and you find this one who has not gone to school enough. These are the guys
that
they are rich, they are money. Now you find this one who passed with AA, now is again begging. This one who didn't even go to school, he said, can you please find me a job? So that transition is what the government is trying to fight. So I think one of the big reasons why there was that general poor performance is because of transition. And now, because you look at it, like for example, those Andama, those nice factors he has factored in. For example, poor infrastructure, the buildings in the villages, in town, they're a bit exposed to good buildings. Yes. But did you know even in Kampala, there are some schools this time around that have shocked us? I will give you an example. Like for example, there is this school here in Kampala called Hillside Primary School. Yes. Did you know last year they had 99 pupils getting 4
for aggregate.
4, yes. Meaning each subject he was getting D1. This year, Hillside got only 7 with 4s.
That is so shocking.
That is so shocking. There is a school I called Green Hill Chubuli. Only 3. Green Hill Buwate.
Should we say these people have been accessing what we call kasasi? Or copying exams.
Now that takes me to the next point. Some have felt like last year the invigilators were paid well. They gave them enough money. So therefore, they could not tolerate the small corruptions from the headmistresses and headmasters from their schools.
Understand.
Now, because they tightened, the students suffered.
That is true.
Especially those who were not revising and not working hard, thinking, they will make it easy for us. They suffered. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kangao. We're still proceeding. Just let's move into a short break, and when we return, we shall be talking about the last news, and then we get out of here. Okay, a very good evening once again. I welcome you back from that short commercial break. You know, our time is not our best ally, but we have a lot of things that we actually have to talk about. Meanwhile, but we're on to other issue of time. We have been in AFCON. African Cup of Nations have been ongoing, and the ambassador is in the house. Briefly, I want you to take us through the AFCON. You know, we're now moving into the 16th round. Briefly talk about it, because today we're expecting Angola to actually play with Namibia, and Nigeria is going to meet Cameroon. Briefly have a say, and then we actually sign out of here.
Thank you very much, our viewers who have been following us. Yes, AFCON has bounced back. That is the last of 16, and Angola up against Gambia. That game is very tricky. It is just not a matter of saying so and so is going to win, because you have been seeing Angola in the history of AFCON. They are also not easy, but Gambia is also not to be underestimated. When you try to see their opening game, they gave a lot of challenge to Senegal, the defending champions, though Senegal did not hesitate and beat them. So that game is very tricky. Whoever is going for Kapapura, just what you have to know is that game will be Nyondo 1-0, but may go into 90-0-0. They go for penalty.
That's very
now
good.
Cameroon, Nigeria. Cameroon has been struggling actually during their opening game, and Samuel Eto'o, their former legend, was not happy. I think from there he went and took guys in body room to cancel them. Why are they doing embarrassing them? Even Didier Drogba was not happy. But Cameroon, Nigeria. And Nigeria has an upper hand, because those guys in history, they have been going through. But Cameroon, Nigeria, that game is very tricky, but I give that one to Nigeria is going to actually outplay.
Okay, that is good. No, Cameroon has been actually struggling. It was almost losing to Burkina Faso last time, was it?
Yeah.
Burkina Faso, yes, but unfortunately, it won the match. Meanwhile, I just employ you to have your last submissions for the viewers of Elkem TV, and we sign out of here. You know, time is not our best ally.
Thank you, our viewers. Thank you for keeping with us right from the time we started, and we have come to the climax of the program. We appreciate and thank you. Without you, we couldn't be, and we exploit that next time. Just follow us, like our page, Facebook and YouTube. We're out of here, if God wishes, next week.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for coming in, and actually is the aspiring honorable for Kiriandongo district soon. The boss will be out. Honorable Kangao, briefly employ to have your last submission for the viewers of Elkem TV. We sign out of here.
Yeah, I have to say this has been the most interesting African Cup of Nations for me, which has seen just the group stages, 6 coaches fired. Ivory Coast, Ghana, Gambia, Algeria, Tunisia, TZ. Wow.
So interesting.
Very exciting. But thank you so much for watching and for following us always. I remain Kangao Yeser on the panel. See you next time.
Thank you very much, your viewers of Elkem TV. Once again, my name is Urban Brown on Two the State. I've been with two panelists into the house. That's Andama Moses and Kangao, actually trying to navigate into what has happened to the previous week. Briefly, I appreciate you as we ash into the weekend. Please take care, and just allow me wish you a very, very, very nice weekend. And thanks for having been a great viewers. Let's catch up next week on the same show, and have yourself a good weekend.